Hello, traveler. Before we dive in today, I need you to understand something important. If you are living with a narcissist, whether that is a partner, a family member, a boss, or even that friend who leaves you absolutely drained, I know that nothing you've done up until now has been enough to change this person. And I want you to hear this clearly. That is not your fault. Interacting with a narcissist isn't like any normal relationship. It is not. It is an emotional minefield. It is a silent psychological game that is incredibly, profoundly exhausting. And the worst part? You've been playing a game where the rules were designed to make you lose from the start. And that brings us to today's lesson. I am going to show you exactly why this game always makes you lose. And more importantly, I am going to share 3 specific tactics that destabilize the narcissist and give back to you something this person has been trying to take away, control over your own emotional peace. Let's get into it. So why does talking to a narcissist always feel like you are stuck in an endless cycle of exhaustion? Here is the thing. Living with a narcissist means entering a game you never asked to play, but they've been playing it the entire time. They've been at it from day one, and they're experts at it. For a narcissistic person, there are only 2 possibilities when they interact with you. Just 2. The first possibility is this. You must feed their ego. That means praising them, agreeing with them, giving them attention, justifying yourself to them, or bending over backwards to avoid conflict. All of it, including those things you do just to keep the peace. In the narcissist's mind, all of that means validation. It means recognition that they're in charge, that they have the power, that they're the one calling the shots. So that is the first thing. That is possibility number 1 in the narcissist's playbook when they interact with you. Now, the second possibility is that you, in the narcissist's view, are refusing to feed their ego. And when that happens, they're going to provoke you. They're going to provoke you deliberately, intentionally, strategically. This isn't an accident. This isn't just a strong personality or a bad mood. This person pokes at you. They distort things. They make passive, aggressive comments. They raise their voice. They make veiled criticisms. And all of it, every single bit of it, has one singular objective: to extract an emotional response from you, whether that is irritation, pain, anger, defensiveness, or frustration. Doesn't matter which one. They just need a reaction. Because for the narcissist, this is fuel. This is what is called narcissistic supply. And here is the most crucial point you need to understand. For a narcissistic person, your adoration and your emotional explosion represent the exact same thing. They both mean that he or she has power over you, control over you, that they can make you react, make you respond, make you dance to their tune. And this explains why they make provocations that are so small, so precise, yet so effective. It is to demonstrate just how much they dominate you, how much control they have, how easily they can pull your strings. And here is the really frustrating part. In this game, they always win. You know those carnival games at amusement parks, the ones that look easy but they're actually rigged with all these tricks designed to make you spend all your money and never ever take home the prize. That is what trying to make a narcissist understand your point of view is like. It is a complete waste of time and energy, just like those games that are literally designed so you can't win. So don't expect behavioral change from a narcissistic person. You play, you try, you give it one more shot, but in the end, it is just disappointment, over and over again. Because narcissists have a profound deficit in 3 emotional areas: empathy, emotional accountability, and the capacity for self-reflection. That is why this person operates on a completely different logic than you do. They're not seeking connection. They're seeking advantage. They're seeking dominance. And that is why you always walk away from conversations with them, feeling that sense of exhaustion, that emotional drain. It is because the game itself is unfair, fundamentally, structurally unfair, because no matter what you say, they always reposition the board to make themselves look right and make you feel wrong. They move the goalposts constantly. The rules change whenever it suits them. So, how do you get out of this? How do you break free from this cycle? Well, the simplest and most effective way to cut off the narcissist's fuel supply is by using neutral statements, because this is a way of not reacting emotionally. It is a way of cutting off the flow of drama completely. Remember, what narcissists want, what they crave, is reaction. So when you explain yourself, when you justify, when you defend, or when you try to fix the situation, you are giving them more fuel. You are feeding exactly what they need. Don't do that. Use a simple but extremely effective tactic instead. Use short responses, neutral responses, responses with zero emotion attached to them. Say things like, I understand, okay, got it, interesting, all right, thanks for letting me know. Notice what these phrases have in common. They don't feed the ego, they don't create conflict, and they don't give any opening for manipulation. Psychologically, they create what is called the gray rock method. Essentially, you become predictable, monotonous, unstimulating, and therefore completely uninteresting to a narcissistic person. And when they realize they can no longer extract emotion from you, when they realize the well has run dry, they become destabilized. They don't know what to do with you anymore. You've removed yourself from the game board entirely, and that throws their entire strategy into chaos. Now, this next tool is one of the most underestimated and most powerful tactics you can use. Most powerful, because one thing that profoundly disarms a narcissist is reducing the amount of time you are available. So don't try to have long conversations with them. Don't try to resolve complex emotional problems. Don't seek deep understanding. Don't try to transform the relationship, because narcissists don't have conversations to resolve things. Narcissists have conversations to control things. It is that simple, that straightforward. So limit your interaction with this person the way you would manage a battery. You use only what is necessary without wasting energy, without draining yourself completely. And how do you do this? Well, keep dialogue functional and brief. Avoid emotional debates entirely. Use direct statements. Exit the conversation as soon as it starts turning into provocation. And if possible, set specific times when you'll speak with this person. Create boundaries around your availability. Think about it this way. When you limit access, you limit control. When you are always available, always responsive, always there to engage, you are giving them unlimited ammunition. But when you become selective about your time and energy, when you ration your presence, suddenly they don't have that power anymore. They can't just pull you into their games whenever they feel like it. And that loss of access, that destabilizes them profoundly. And this next tactic, this one is absolutely wonderful, because the only reality that the narcissist truly fears is this one, the opinion of others. So here comes one of the most important and bitter truths about narcissists. They don't care what you think, not really, but they care obsessively, desperately about what other people will think, because their public self-image is the pillar that sustains their entire narcissistic functioning. It is everything to them. So when you connect their behavior to the perception of third parties, when you bring witnesses into the equation even hypothetically, this triggers an immediate reaction, an urgent, visceral response. And look, I am not talking about threatening them, spreading gossip, or making up stories. I am talking about showing them that there are possible witnesses, that their behavior isn't happening in a vacuum. For example, you can say things like, "Do you think people would agree with that?" Or, "I am not sure if so-and-so would have the same view of this situation." Or, "Do you really want to maintain that position in front of others?" You don't need to make direct accusations. You just need to raise the possibility of an audience. You just need to crack open that door and let them see that their actions might be observed, might be judged, might be discussed. See how that works. This tactic is highly effective because it touches on the narcissist's greatest fear, the fear of being exposed, the fear that their carefully constructed image might crumble, that the mask might slip in front of people who matter. Narcissists invest enormous amounts of energy in maintaining their public persona. They need to be seen as impressive, capable, superior. The thought that someone else might see through them, might witness their manipulative tactics, might recognize them for what they are, that is absolutely terrifying to them. And you can use that fear strategically, ethically, simply by reminding them that you are not the only person in the world who might form an opinion about their behavior. Now that you understand these three tactics, I want you to hold on to something essential, something fundamentally important. You don't need to defeat the narcissist. You don't need to change the narcissist. You don't need to convince them, prove anything to them, argue with them, exhaust yourself, defend every choice you make, or justify every step you take. What you need, what you deserve, is to reclaim your emotional peace. That is what this is really about. So when you use neutral statements, when you limit interaction time, and when you apply the audience tactic, you are taking back from the narcissist's hands what was always yours to begin with: your focus, your energy, your calm, and your internal freedom. And listen, they might not like it. They probably won't. Actually, they might react strongly. They might even try to pressure you to go back to the old pattern, to return to the way things were when they had all the control and you had none. But remember this: that reaction, that resistance, that pressure, it only means one thing. It means what you are doing is working. It means you've disrupted their system. It means you are no longer playing by their rules. And that is exactly where you need to be. The thing about narcissists is that they're incredibly adaptable when it comes to manipulation, but they're completely inflexible when it comes to losing control. So when you start implementing these tactics, when you start protecting your peace and establishing boundaries, they'll feel that loss of control immediately. And they won't go quietly. They might escalate. They might try new tactics. They might even temporarily seem to change or apologize, only to revert right back once they think they've got you hooked again. But you'll be ready for it, because you'll understand what is happening. You'll see the patterns. You'll recognize the game for what it is. And most importantly, you'll know that you have the tools to protect yourself without sacrificing your own well-being in the process. This isn't about becoming cold or emotionless. This isn't about building walls so high that nobody can reach you. This is about becoming strategic with your emotional energy. This is about recognizing that not everyone deserves unlimited access to your peace, your time, your vulnerability. Some people have proven, through their consistent behavior, that they will misuse that access every single time. And with those people, with narcissists, your job isn't to fix them, heal them, or make them see the light. Your job is to protect yourself, to maintain your boundaries, to preserve your inner peace despite their best efforts to disturb it. These 3 tactics give you the framework to do exactly that. They give you a way to interact when you must, while protecting yourself when you can. They give you back your agency, your choice, your power. And that is what this is ultimately about: reclaiming what is yours and refusing to give it away anymore. Stay safe, traveler. I'll see you on our next journey.